There we go. Now we have microphone audio. Beautiful thing. All right. It's going to be a chill stream this evening. We have 4 competitors, so it'll be, what is that, 1, 2, 3 games? Is that right? Not really. I didn't sleep last night. I want to die. So, all right. I'm just going to hit the stinger and we'll dive right into it. How's that sound? Yeah. Woo! Time for some Monday Night Mercenarium, folks.
Monday Night Mercenarium.
How you doing, folks? Dan here, back at you again with another Monday Night Mercenarium, coming at you live from the Crack Fox. Hey, I'm really tired today, so this is going to be a weird, wibbly stream. It's pretty chill here at the venue here in downtown St. Louis, and we've got 4 competitors lined up for you for tonight's tournament. If this is your first time joining us, Monday Night Mercenarium is a weekly tournament built around a card game that I made. And the game is a 2 to 4 player abstract strategy game. Feels a little bit like chess meets poker with power-ups. A lot of fun, very unpredictable. And we've got a small but devoted community of players who have been coming out of the woodwork to play this game on a regular basis. We are sponsored by Courtesy Diner. They actually provide us with a prize purse every single week, meaning that at no cost to you, you can come down to the Crack Fox on a Monday night and enter this tournament for free and possibly walk out of here with some money. Depending upon how good you are, maybe a lot of money. We keep making the joke. We do have our resident wins all the damn time guy here wearing his own merch. It's pretty good stuff. His name is Sam, and you are allowed to boo this man, but he's made a lot of money from playing this game so far. So the first hardcore professional Mercenarium player. Now, normally at the start of the stream, I give a complete run-through of the rules of the game. And tonight, I'm not really feeling that. There is, if you scan the QR code right there. Mudfoot says, I suggest the hangover until 11 a.m. He's talking about bad echo on the mic. Oh, thank you so much, Bill. I'm so glad you caught that. Amateur night. I need monitors. I need an in-ear monitor of the stream output. Thank you very much, Bill. I have muted the culprit, and we will continue to enjoy the stream. So, as I was saying, normally I will go through a complete explanation of the rules, but tonight I'm just going to kind of do a quick overview, the basics that will help you learn to play the game. We'll go to the How to Play screen right now, and I'll show you a couple of things. There's a couple of visual aids I can go to here. The board is a 5x5 grid, and the cards on the board have a line along one edge that's going to always be pointed towards the player that controls it. It's called the orientation line. Each player is going to be in control of a single space on the edge of their edge of the board called a house. That's what the left diagram here is indicating. And that's where players are going to start. They're going to start summoning in their house. If an enemy gets into their house, they can be eliminated from the game. And players are going to be taking turns putting these square cards onto the board, moving them around, and trying to capture each other. And the first to 5 wins. The cards have dots around their edges. They're based loosely on a deck of traditional playing cards. So you have 2 through 10, Jack, Queen, King, Ace. This deck also has Lords, which have no dots, and they fight a little bit differently. And there's one for each suit. The suits, instead of being the classical suits of, clubs and diamonds, it's the claws, souls, gears, and blades. We'll come back to that in a second. Capturing is basically if you have more dots, you move in and you capture the card. As in the example here, the ace has 5 dots where the king has 4, meaning the ace is threatening the king. Ace moves, captures the king. Put the capture face up along your edge of the board, and if you get to 5, you win. You just automatically win the dang game. Yes, you will see this wheel on screen that tells you when there's a tie in dots or when there's a lord fighting. You always refer to this wheel to see who wins, who loses, what happens. If they're across the wheel, like with the blades and the souls, or else with the claws and the gears, either player may initiate an annihilation, in which case both cards will be discarded from play, nobody gets any captures, and, game resumes. And if in the event that 2 cards of the same suit are tied, or that a lord that has the same suit is fighting another. You get it. Those cards block. They can't interact with each other. Summoning is playing a card from your hand. Moving, every card can be moved one space. And yeah, so that's Lords again. Mercenarium is the name of the game. There are Jacks, Queens, Kings, and Aces will occasionally be pivoted to an enemy's orientation, and they gain control of them by spending those captures. When you make a capture, you put it face up along your edge of the board, and you can flip it face down to spend it to buy a mercenary. You'll see what we're talking about here in a minute. And we talked about power-ups, the hymns. There's 15 in total. They're all unique, and they do crazy things. I'm not going to go through all of them and explain what they all do, but I will explain them when they are used during the game. Now, I believe on the next slide, well, okay, so 3 ways to win. First to 5, knock your opponents out and take their house, or at the very end of the game, if nobody outright wins in one of those first 2 ways, whoever has the most captures wins. So these are the turn actions, as outlined before. Do one of those per turn, goes to the next action. And in the event that we run out of cards, we enter Singularity, which is like a sudden death mode that has a couple of different rule functions. Again, we'll revisit that if that happens. And if that deck runs out, if the Singularity deck runs out, then the game is awarded to the player with the most highest value captures. So that's the gist. We're not going to get too crazy about it. We do have, as I said, the bracket. Let me go ahead and start the tournament. Normally, I will have a... where's the button? There it is. Normally, I will have a co-host. Normally, I'll have as Bill said from the audience, a color commentator. Normally, I'll have a co-host, but tonight, the co-host Sam is actually participating in the tournament, which means we have 2 Sams, Sam versus Sam. And actually, if I'm looking at the bracket here, it looks like game 1, round 1, is going to be Sam versus Sam. We're going to get right off to the races with some Sam-on-Sam action. How's that sound, folks? Sam versus Sam. So, let me see. Sam Williams is in the north. Sam Hatfield's in the south. Players, whenever you're ready. Sam Hatfield is is engrossed in conversation. It's important. Shout out to our lovely bartender, Harley. Shout out to the Crack Fox and Carrie Harris for having us here while we wait. And shout out to Courtesy Diner. Here we go. Here's the boys. It is. Let me
like actually was it was the finals.
It was.
So these have all been shuffled?
I think so.
Okay. Let's give them a shuffle just for fairness.
Yep.
Now, each player is going to have 7.5 minutes to compete, as marked by that chess timer on the right side of your screen. If either player runs out of time, they automatically lose by default. That's just how chess time is be working. Players start with 5 black cards, 1 blue card. The blue card is the power-up. The black cards are the main cards of the game. And, oh, hang on a second. Before you get started. There we go. I had to reboot the Sam Hatfield. Your user information was not displaying, and now it is. So, there you are. Sam versus Sam. We're gonna try. I'm gonna do my darndest to commentate on this game without getting too tangled in their names. Right before I just called you by your last names. I believe Hatfield rolled higher, so you're gonna go first. Start the clock. All right, 7.5 minutes. Hatfield's opening. He opens with the 10 of claws in his house. It goes to Sam Williams. Williams has Zodiac, a hymn that lets him roll a 12-sided die to become a different hymn. He rolled 4, which is Seasons. Seasons is a hymn which attaches to a number card to give it the power of rotation. But Sam Williams is not going to use it and instead holds the hymn, and he's going to re-roll Zodiac now on his next turn. Did you roll it again? Yes, he wasted a turn, rolled the same thing, 1 and 12, and he rolled Seasons twice. So Hatfield is making his way across the board with that 10 of claws. Williams puts down the 7 of claws. That means he probably didn't have a better card in his hand, but he wants to get something out there so he can run if he needs to maintain a board state. Because if Hatfield enters his house, he can be eliminated that way if he has no other cards in play. Hatfield brings out the 10 of souls, threatening the 7 of claws on its east edge. Williams advances the 7 of claws south. It blocks with the 10 of claws, as they are the same suit. And Williams has managed to maintain his board state. He is not in limbo. Hatfield draws a card. Williams rolls. Are you kidding me? It's Seasons again. He's using Seasons. He's attaching it to the 7 to attack the 10. Seasons attaches to a card and allows it to be rotated. And that means that now that 7 of claws is threatening the 10 of claws, forcing Sam Hatfield to play more defensively. We are going to clip the hell out of that. Williams plays the Queen of Claws, using his 7 of claws as a base. They are the same suit, so that is a legal play. That is a fork, I believe. The Queen is threatening the 10 of souls and the 10 of claws. So Hatfield's going to turn that threat into a trade, ideally, but Williams responds by rotating the 7 of claws, and it is still a fork. And now Williams can safely capture the 10 of souls, as there were no other cards to threaten him there. Goes back to Hatfield, who is now trailing Williams with his 1 capture. Hatfield's going to discard 2 to learn a new hymn. He wants to get a new power-up and see if he can get something to shake the game up a little bit. Williams draws a card. Goes back to Hatfield. I need to figure out this glare. Keep playing, boys. Hatfield brings the 10 of claws. Yeah, try and keep it. If you keep it against the board, it doesn't seem to be too bad. Okay. South, Williams draws a card. Okay, we're still doing my job. Doing my job. Hatfield moves the 10 of claws west, and Williams advances the Queen of Claws south to threaten the 10 of claws. He is attacking head-on. Hatfield brings out the Queen of Gears to back his 10 of claws up. If the Queen captures the 10, then that's going to be a trade. It looks like Williams is willing to make that trade. That could be a trap, folks. There is a hymn out there that plays at instant speed and causes a capture to become an annihilation, and that hymn is called Meat War. And there it is, and so it's still Hatfield's turn, and he has to figure out something else to do. Williams plays out of turn, and yeah, that's how that works. Both players are drawing cards now. Looking for some options. Not a lot going on. Not a lot obvious to either one of them. Drawing cards gives you cards you can play. It also gives you fodder for learning new hymns, which is often what players are actually looking for, is they want to fill their hand with cards they can throw away as an offering for new hymns. Hatfield brings out the Lord of Gears in his house, and if Williams continues to draw, Hatfield is making his way downtown. He is walking across the board one space at a time while Williams continues to draw. Now, with Lords, they fight with their suits, so a soul, even the weakest soul in the game, would be able to beat that Lord of Gears. So what Hatfield's doing is a little dangerous. He can't know what Williams has in his hand. Williams has a choice to make. Does he have something that can threaten the Lord of Gears? He's going to move his Seasons into his house. That is a claw and a gear. They would annihilate each other if they interacted. So Williams is willing to sacrifice his Seasons card in order to destroy Sam's Lord of Gears and his board state, protecting his house by doing so. Sam's going to draw. That's going to give... Sorry, Hatfield's going to draw. It's going to give Williams the opportunity to... He's going to learn a hymn. He's not going to trigger the annihilation either. He's keeping himself safe there. It's very interesting. No telling what he just got in his hand. It's getting precarious. Yes, Hatfield's going to trigger the annihilation. So the board is clear, and Williams is up 2. 2 to... Do you have one, Sam? What? You have no captures. Okay. All right. Lord of Souls in his house. Sam Williams is our resident champion, plays all the time, wins all the time. Sam Hatfield is normally my co-host. So, Williams is using Primary, a hymn that allows him to look at the top 3 hymns, pick one, and either use it straight away or keep it for later. Gives you a little bit of agency in the power-up that you use. So when he's made his choice, yeah, go ahead. It's gonna be low key this evening. I don't feel like getting up. I worked today. You kids. My dad, because he sat at a desk all day, when he got off work, he would stand behind the couch and watch TV for like hours. Yeah. Williams brings out the Ace of Souls with Druid attached. Druid is a hymn that prevents a mercenary from being able to be bought. It is loyal to him and will remain that way until it is destroyed or captured. Hatfield draws a card, goes back to Williams. Williams is going to learn a new hymn. Now that he's used Druid, he has no hymn in his hand. He can get another one. Hatfield advances with the Lord of Souls. Williams advances to meet him, blocking the Lord of Souls with the Ace of Souls. Again, Lords fight with their suit, and we just got Souls out there, so that Ace and that Lord could not interact with each other. They block each other. Hatfield brings out the King of Souls east of the Lord of Souls. A lot of Souls action. Of course, that King can't advance because the Ace has a 5 where the King would have a 4. So Hatfield's going to move to the side. It's going to create an opening for Williams to attack the King of Souls with the Ace while remaining safe from the Lord of Souls. Dragoon. Sam uses both a defensive and an offensive Dragoon. He escapes with the King of Souls and gets over to aim a big gun at Williams' house. That was a solid play. Of course, that is a mercenary, which is a big liability. So Hatfield's going to learn a new hymn. Williams draws a card. Hatfield's he's ditching Kinsakuroi. Doesn't see anything he can do with Kinsakuroi, which lets a player summon up to 2 cards illegally. Williams got Avarice, a hymn which lets him buy a mercenary without spending a capture. And Hatfield got the Fool, my favorite hymn, and rolled terribly, but that's okay. It's okay. Now, the Fool is a very interesting card because when you play it, you roll a die that sets the number of dots on every edge. So right now, that Fool is very vulnerable. However, you can re-roll the die, and when you move it, you have to re-roll it. So the Fool evolves as the game plays. Re-roll that. Well, I was going to say that was perfectly cocked. That was like vertically cocked. So I was going to say, you can, I don't know. It's the same number. Okay. So now the Fool has 4 dots on every edge. And Hatfield, that's a different guy. That's Williams. Williams learns a new hymn. I'm seeing Sam's. Hatfield draws. They don't even know their Sims. Williams moves the Ace of Souls between the Lord and the Fool. Now, the Fool, if it ties with any card, it blocks because it doesn't really have a suit, or rather, it's the bones. So, Hatfield brings out the Jack of Claws in his house, and Williams advances the King of Souls. Hatfield moves the Jack of Claws east 1 space. Hatfield summons the King of Blades south of his King of Souls. That will be a threat to the Jack, and Sam attacks. Moves the King towards the Jack 1 space south. The Jack of Claws is now threatened, and Hatfield dodges it back into his house. Williams pursues, keeping pace, strafing alongside. And Hatfield seems to be maybe luring him. Williams summons the Lord of Blades off of his King of Blades, and that's going to continue to threaten the Jack of Claws. Well, it could annihilate with the Lord of Souls, but then that Lord of Souls will no longer be able to annihilate the King of Blades. It's a brute force method. Hatfield moves the Jack of Claws into the corner, looking for a safe space there. And Williams takes that opportunity to take Sam Hatfield's house. Moves the King of Blades south. Hatfield's going to take that opportunity to learn a new hymn. Williams moves over. Oh, goodness. So Williams was attacking and was creating a thing, but Hatfield's got the perfect get-out-of-jail-free card there with Arcanum, a hymn that allows him to destroy all cards within 2 spaces of one of his own sacrificed cards. That cleared that little corner there, and that melee is dealt with. He still trails by 2 and is sub 1 minute on time now. So he's going to have to work if he wants to pull this off. Williams moves the King of Souls west. Hatfield draws a card. Fire Eyes. Williams is using the hymn that lets him refresh his hand. He can discard any number of cards from his hand and then draws until he has 5 cards. So he basically gets to get a bunch of draw turns for free. It's like taking 5 turns at once, but they're boring turns. Williams summons the Ace of Claws, attacking the Lord of Souls. Claws beat Souls in ties. They threaten Souls, so that Ace is threatening. And Hatfield brings the King of Claws out in his house. William gets his 3rd capture, locking down the Lord of Souls, and now threatening... No, that's his Druid. My mistake. Hatfield advances with the King of Claws. William summons the Lord of Claws in the center of the board. It's going to prevent the King of Claws from moving forward to do any interloping. Hatfield draws a card. Williams is going to learn a new hymn. Still sitting at 2 minutes, 25 seconds. Hatfield's down to 20 seconds. Draws a card. Back to Williams. Williams moves the Druid to the west edge. Hatfield summons the Ace of Gears off of his King of Claws, attacking the Ace of Claws, trying to get himself a capture here before time runs out. Williams pulls back. Hatfield advances. Williams captures the Fool, getting to his 4th capture. 3 seconds remaining. Hatfield is fighting to the bitter end. Continues to attack. He attacks the Druid, and Williams has the Shade. So I believe that's going to be game, folks. So it goes. So it goes. Well, hang on a second. I'm gonna try something here. I'm gonna mute my mic so I don't create that horrible echo. I'm gonna unmute the table mic, and then you should exit interview. You should exit interview for me, Sam.
Oh, I'm exiting.
Yeah, you're asking me questions now.
Okay. All right. So how did it feel being at the table again and not commentating?
Weird. Different perspective, literally. I had to pay attention to one particular strategy instead of predicting just for fun. So it's always invigorating to be at the table.
Cool. All right. Any takeaways from the game that you want to instill on the viewers?
Well, pay attention, because if you lose track of cards, you will lose them.
Alrighty.
Back. Thank you so much for doing that. That's I think hopefully if I did it all right, that should make for good content. We'll find out. We can go to the bracket real quick, and I can punch these scores in. Oh, I guess I didn't actually click start tournament. There's so many steps I always miss on this. I'm a novice. I'm an amateur. Nobody pays me for this. So let me make sure that I get the Sams right. Sam Williams won that. Sam Hatfield did not. Submit scores. That means we're looking at game 2 of the semifinals. Winter versus... It's Bill, but Bill has got us with French with benefits today. Do you want me to refer to you as French during the match? Tongue and also a little teeth. Say what? All right, there we are. Here's our folks. Let's go to the overhead. And I guess, well, now that you're knocked out, you want to help? All right. That's right. Thank you, Sam Williams, for getting me my commentator back. I've always wanted to shuffle.
You keep saying that, Dan. Are you trying to tell us something? Is this a cry for help?
Kind of.
A little.
it's a low volume cry for help.
Y'all got any trash talk?
Oh, I'm thinking I can get away with one during the shuffle now because the microphone will just think he's shuffling, right?
That wasn't trash talk, but it was kind of nasty.
You gotta know when you have cover. When you.
And
No. Six. And bigger than six.
all
How
right,
dare
who's
you.
going first?
I will go first.
And begin.
Go ahead and move those dice, folks. Bill opens with the Queen of Gears, and Winter ditches the Three of Blades. We call it ditching the dirt. Bill moves the Queen to the center space. He's moving across the board quickly, and Winter brings out the Two of Claws, a very small, unassuming card in their house. Bill advances to attack, and Winter's got Arcanum and blows up the Queen of Gears. And there we go. Bill's first attack has been deflected. Bill has another queen in store, though. The Queen of Blades played in his house. Winter responds with the Jack of Gears, which is going to be a more effective defense against that. However, oh dear! Oh no! Oh, that's rough. What a hateful thing to do. That's game. That was the ruthless coup de grace, the avarice win there. Oh, it happened so fast. Sometimes it happens, though. Avarice buys a mercenary, even if it was just played without spending a capture. And as a result, Bill was able to eliminate Winter by taking the mercenary in their house. It's a quick game, folks. Sometimes it happens. You'll have those 30-second long games. Well, hang on a moment. Let me go ahead and go to the table, and why don't y'all have a chat for me?
I don't have words.
Yeah. Yeah, you were like, what was it, Brian, when I was like, do you want to do an exit interview? And he's like, nope. All right, well, I'll start shuffling.
That does mean we're going to be moving to the final game of our cozy little tournament here this evening. The winner of this will walk away with 50 smackaroonies. Sam in the north and Friends with Benefits in the south. Now, as I said before, Sam wins very frequently, so the default crowd favorite is Friends with Benefits, aka Bill. That's it. Let me y'all can go ahead and have your mic real quick.
That's your own shirt.
I just need you to show that a little. So, for those following along at home, this is another one of our players. In fact, the player who introduced Sam to this game and to us made this shirt. It is a caricature of his face, thumbs down. Did you get yours? Does it say the thing on the back?
Yeah, it says the thing on the back.
It says he can't keep getting away with it on the back, folks. We don't want him to keep.
I forgot what I rolled.
It was less than 10.
That
I
makes
think
sense.
it's a 6 or a
It's
7.
something like
Oh,
that.
I wasn't looking. Oh,
I
I got
know
a deal.
I didn't roll 10.
The audacity.
Right.
Alright, and then I get to choose who goes first. I will go first. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Begin.
Bill opens with the Nine of Blades in his house, and Sam responds with the Lord of Gears in his house. Sam has the upper hand there based on those two cards. Bill moves the Nine of Blades west, and Sam uses Visionaire to slide that Lord of Gears far into the field and attack the Nine of Blades. Visionaire allows a player to teleport one of their cards into an empty space aside from a player's house. So Bill responds by playing the 3 of souls in his house, which would turn that Lord's attack into a trade. Souls beat gears and ties. So Bill's going to move that 3 of souls out. Sam is throwing away the Queen of Blades to learn a new hymn, and Bill gets him with Dragoon, a card that lets him move a card 2 spaces. That puts Bill in an early lead. He's the only one with a board state, and he captured the Lord of Gears with the 3 of souls. That worked out quite nicely for Bill. We could have an upset here tonight, folks. Sam draws a card. Bill does the same. Neither player liking their options. Sam brings the 8 of claws out, and Bill advances the 9 of blades. Sam moves to the west with the 8 of claws. Bill advances with the 9 of blades. Sam continues to the west. And Bill draws a card. Sam moves the 8 of claws forward. Bill's using Kinsakuroi, and he's going to summon the Jack of Gears illegally. Kinsakuroi lets a player break summoning rules up to... Oh, and Sam has Arcanum. So much for that. All cards blown up, and we're back to square one, though Bill is still in the lead thanks to that one capture he earned with Dragoon. Bill draws a card. Sam learns a hymn. He's ditching 2 for a hymn. Bill draws again. Sam draws again. Both players are drawing. Not a lot of action happening, but a lot of potential showing up in their hands. Sam is going to bring out the Fool. Seen it once this stream before. It has the number of dots on every edge as indicated by its die, and every time it has to move, every time it moves, it has to be re-rolled. So it's a very dynamic card. Sometimes it screws you over, sometimes it does you well. Bill's still drawing, and Sam is learning a new hymn. He did roll a 5, and that's pretty strong defense for his house there. Bill brings out the 9 of gears. Sam draws another card. He starts moving across the board. Bill draws. Sam advances with the Fool. He has to re-roll it. It's now a 2. That's not great for him. That means that it is vulnerable to the 9 of gears, though Bill may have something else in mind. Bill's got the Shade, and he's going to bring the Fool to him. That's allowing Sam to move, and now that did not work out for Bill at all. Bill basically brought the gun to his front door. He moves the 9 of gears across the board. Sam is now in a very powerful position. He summons the 8 of gears in his, 8 of souls in his house, and Bill's going to learn a new hymn. Sam moves to the east with the 8 of souls. Bill draws another card. Sam's leaving that Fool locked over Bill's house there. Most cards Bill can summon would be immediately captured, so it's a solid play. Sam advances with the 8 of souls. Bill is thinking. Bill's going to slap Seasons on the 9 of gears, making it able to defend against that 8 of souls on either of those edges. Sam draws a card. Back to Bill. What's he going to do with this? He's going to draw as well. Both players are being very careful, conservative with their cards. Sam summons the Ace of Souls, threatening Seasons. And Bill advances to threaten the 8 of Souls. Sam draws a card. Sam's okay with a potential trade, it looks like. Bill draws as well. Sam summons the Ace of Gears in his house, threatening Seasons. Bill summons the 10 of Souls to back Seasons up. If that ace captured it, it would be a trade. Sam's going to move to the side. Very interesting. And that's going to attack the 10 of Souls. Back to Bill. He's thinking. He's going for the capture, and Sam's going to throw Meat War, causing both cards to be discarded. Still Bill's turn, and he's going to evade with the 10 of Souls. Now Sam has much more control of the board in terms of dots. That 10 doesn't have a lot of safe places it can go. Bill dodges out to the edge. And he summons the Jack of Souls, using his 10 as a base. That would turn the ace. If the ace captured the 10, it would be a trade. Sam learns a hymn. Bill pulls south with the 10 of Souls. Sam's got Zodiac, testing his luck, and he rolls. Oh, I think Sam's just a lucky man. Wow. Wow, dude, please roll it again. No way. Wait, no, that's 6. That's the other way around. Okay, sorry. False alarm. I got confused. He's going to use Kinsakuroi, which allows him to summon illegally up to 2 times. So he brings out the 10 of Claws, attacking the Jack of Souls, using his Ace of Gears as a base. That would not normally be permitted. Kinsakuroi. That Jack is, I think the word is screwed. Yeah, and Sam's going to take the opportunity to capture the Jack. He's going to reroll the Fool and rolls a 4. And that continues to threaten the 10 of Souls. Very interesting. And although now the Fool is not on Bill's throat so much, he's not standing next to his house, Bill learns a new hymn. Sam advances with the Ace of Gears. Primary, Bill's going to look at the top 3 cards of the hymnal and use one right away, or sing it. He's made his choice. We're going to pause the clock, shuffle the cards, and then Bill will announce, is he using it or is he holding on to it for another time? Bill had Avarice, and he's going to use it right away to buy the Ace of Souls without spending a capture. Sam advances with the 10 of Claws to back up the Fool there, turning any capture against the Fool with into a trade. Bill attacks with the Ace of Souls. Sam advances with the Ace of Gears, shoring up his position. He knows that, yes, if this cascade of captures starts to happen, he has the upper hand as that 10 of Souls is locked down. So Bill's at 2, Sam's at 2, but Sam's primed to get to 3. It was a solid play on his part. He's going to take the 10 of Souls with the Ace of Gears, taking the lead. Bill advances to threaten the 10 of Claws with his Queen of Claws. Sam summons the King of Blades, using his ace as a base to protect the 10 of Claws. Bill's going to spend a capture, first capture spend of the game, to buy the Ace of Gears and threaten the King of Blades. Bill's then going to take his 3rd capture, and he's keeping on top of him. This is definitely a neck-and-neck game to a certain extent. It's very fun to watch. Both are strafing to the east with the Queen of Claws and the King of Blades. Bill ducks south. Sam pursues. Now Bill's thinking, what does he want to do? He can't bring the Ace of Gears in. He's going to buy the King of Blades, and now he has spent 2 of his captures. And Sam buys the Queen of Claws and now attacks the Ace of Gears on its weak side with the Queen of Claws, and that's now going to follow him north. They're moving back north. That was a weird flash. All of our memories were just erased. Bill summons the Jack of Blades next to his King of Blades. Bill draws a card. Sam summons the 10 of Gears in his house. Bill moves the Ace of Gears forward. Sam moves the 10 of Gears south, threatening the King of Blades. Bill dodges the King of Blades to the east. Sam keeps pace with the Queen of Claws, threatening the King from the south. Bill moves the Ace of Gears to attack the 10 of Gears, and Sam buys his second mercenary, buying the Ace of Gears, which now threatens the Jack of Blades. Bill's got that's a tough spot. The King is threatened, the Jack is threatened. Very interesting. Bill's going to buy the Queen of Claws. Sam is going to sort of war of attrition his way into that fourth capture there. He just happened to have better positioned buys than Bill did. He moves the Ace of Gears east, and Bill evades with the King of Blades. And now Bill's in a fork with Sam at 4 captures. I don't know how he gets out of this. He's spent all of his cards. He's going to learn a hymn. Was it anything that could help you, Bill? It was not Zodiac or Meat War, so that means that's game.
Again.
You know, if this were a real good stream, there would be a sting for every
Are
time.
you saying this isn't a good stream?
No, I'm just saying.
He said this isn't a good stream.
So this stream could be better if there's a musical sting every time Sam won. You go on Fiverr.
Well, I mean, you can do obviously commentary and stuff.
Yeah.
But we're not gonna. Just gonna use this mic. I can take this off my head
Okay.
for now.
All right.
And I'm gonna make sure that I got
Do you want me to monitor the stream in case anybody does start
That'd be
watching?
awesome.
Okay.
That'd be awesome. If somebody like leave a comment or something.
Yeah.
But also, talk shit. So for folks who don't know, or are watching the stream or are watching a video of this, we do a thing at the end of each tournament where whoever wins, usually Sam, whoever wins gets to decide, do they want me to read their fortune using the built-in Dragon Fruit Alchemy Oracle system, which doubles as a fortune-telling tool, or play me in a boss battle, so to speak. I'm nobody's boss, but and I honestly think you've beaten me about half the time that you've.
I don't keep track, so
Neither do I. Chat, keep track for us.
It's your job now, Chad.
That's right. I almost feel like either I should get better at the game or I should never play with anybody because I need to create the mystique, that I'm really good at it.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you don't want to play Dan.
When I play you, it's just like, oh, this guy ain't shit.
Yeah, but to spin it for a positive spin, like that means that anybody can win.
That is true.
So like the game isn't like, because it's not a perfect.
It's like the
information game.
Ratatouille of board games.
Yeah.
Anyone can cook.
Yeah.
and half the time your actions are being controlled by Arachnobrain.
Yeah.
I'm more than half the time.
Most of them, if we're being honest.
So there's that it's like a comic girl's a boxer and she sees a little mantis shrimp and she's like, you can help me win. And then the next scene is just blood everywhere. Mantis shrimp ratatouille. Anyway, you rolled a 9.
Yes.
I rolled more than that, so okay.
So,
Who's going first?
I will.
alright, Dan opens with the 9 of gears. Sam responds to the 10 of souls. Dan advances the 9. Sam uses the shade to teleport the 9 to a less advantageous position. Dan moves the 9. Sam pursues. And summons the Jack of Gears. Sam moves in position to threaten the Jack of Gears with the 10. Dan summons the Ace of Gears, and Sam advances the 10 of Souls. Alright, Dan Arcanum's the field. It was a field of gears. It's still a field of gears. Sam brings the 10 of claws. Dan learns a new hymn. Alright, so we've got a board positioning, everything moving towards the gear side of the board, also known as the west. Dan advances, entering Sam's house, abandons the house in pursuit of the 10, re-enters the house as the 10 gets out of range. Sam summons the 9 of claws, and Dan responds with the King of Blades. Some dancing with 9s happening. Alright, Sam plays Fire Eyes, allows him to draw, refresh his hand.
Rough.
Dan advances with the King. Sam moves the king of the 10, and Dan pursues with the king. Okay, Dan takes the center of the column. Sam summoned a king, but the king was bought with avarice. Dan draws after the 10 was advanced. Sam learns a new hymn. Dan moves the king. King of Blades, that is. Sam summons the fox. Set to...
That sucks.
that's set to a souls. Yep. For those at home.
Well, that guy's dead. Whatever shall I do?
Alright. Dan goes after the 10. Sam moves the 9. There's a trade. Dan retreats out of Sam's house. king is being pursued by the 9 and the fox. Alright, this turns into a trade. Sam summons the 9 of souls into Dan's house. Dan advances the king of gears. Sam advances the fox. Dan attacks the 9 with the king. Sam advances the fox. Dan dodges the king of gears. Sam learns a new hymn.
No, wait, no, I don't want to do that.
Meat War was taken back. Sam advances the fox, and Dan retreats the king. That 9's doing some pretty heavy lifting. Some dancing around. Sam draws. Dan learns a new hymn. Sam draws. Dan plays Zodiac and rolls it on
Avarice.
Avarice, which is of no use to him in his current moment. Sam draws. Dan draws. Alright, Sam summons the Lord of Gears. Dan re-rolls Zodiac.
Meat War.
Meat War indeed. Alright, folks, and that floating Meat War, the Meat War special, is an extra health bar that Dan just cashed in. Dan summons the 3 of gears. Alright, Sam pursues. Dan advances the 3. Alright, Sam attacks and attack the 3. Goes to summon a 6 of souls. And learns a new hymn by spending a capture. Meanwhile, his 3 is getting awfully crowded. Dan uses the defensive dragoon to warp out of there effectively. However, he might be chased to another corner. Dan draws a card. Dan draws a card while Sam advances on the 3. Alright, we've got some rapid movement here. The 3 is, Sam is trying to box in the 3. Dan draws. Sam captures the 3. And Dan plays Optimo to send the Lord into the corner. Sam repositions the Lord. Dan summons a 7 of souls.
Holy
fuck! What an intense
that was a
round
really
turns.
that was intense.
White knuckling this shit.
All right. So,
Right, I forgot about that. Forgot about Dre.
Yep. All right, Sam used a Meat War to invalidate a capture. Dan's drawn, trying to get some options, while Sam advances the fox. Dan draws yet again. What's Sam gonna do? He draws. And Dan draws. Sam draws. Dan learns a new hymn. Sam learns a new hymn. Dan draws. We're just. This is the point in the Dragon Ball Z episode where they're like just gathering their energy and not doing anything.
That's exactly right.
For a second time, folks. For a second time, Sam has defeated Dan with Kinsakuroi.
Technically, you're not done yet because they're both mercenary. Oh no, they're under contract.
They're under contract,
Never mind.
Sam. I'm
All
done.
right.
Well,
Right, I have prize money for both. Bill and Sam. Jesus Christ.
And this asshole.
here's your $50.
Thank you.
Kitsukuroi boy.
I feel like Kitsukuri so much. Why don't you marry it?
Got a couple Sams.
Yeah. Oh, maybe. So each hymn has a song associated with it. Maybe you can pull out. Maybe you can pull out a stinger from that song for his evil anthem.
Kitsukuroi?
Yeah, because he's
it's very upbeat.
Oh, well,
It's a very
hey,
uplifting song.
I mean, do you want a dirge?
You can remix it.
Yes, we're gonna remix. Do it in a minor.
In a minor,
scale.
yeah, in a minor key. Yeah, a
Wow.
minor remix.
Amazing. It's quite a game.
Oh, that was a good game.
Got me fair and square, but Jesus.
And we have set up a 4-player game down there for whichever victims want to join.
Beautiful. Let me do the sign off real quick.
Yeah. Take your chair.
Well, folks.
There we go. There it is. Our 41st Monday Night Mercenarium tournament, streamed to you live from the Crack Fox in downtown St. Louis. We are sponsored by Courtesy Diner. Huge shout out to them. Go and get yourself a hangover. Go get a slinger. These are food items. These are foods. They're delicious. It's a St. Louis thing, and they're part of the reason that we're able to give money away to the people who play the tournament. And we have a ton of fun here. You know, even when we have a slower night, there's only a couple people, we still have a blast. So. Yeah. Hope that you'll join us sometime. Hope that you'll come down and be a part of it. If you want to support what we're trying to do, what we're trying to build here, this competitive sport here in St. Louis, Missouri, you can support us directly by going to Anthromancer on Patreon. Actually, there's a little right there, Anthromancy on Patreon. You can back us you can actually sign up to the Patreon for free, and I do post a lot of like behind-the-scenes stuff or things that you're not going to see on other channels and things like that there. Game, like when we come up with new game types, if we've got anything in the works in terms of events, in terms of if we have new music coming out. Anthromancer is also a band. You can listen to it on Spotify. I could go on and on. But if you want to support what we're doing here with the Monday Night Mercenarium streams, back us on Patreon. That would help tremendously. What am I forgetting?
Let's see. Talked about Crackbox. Talked about money. Yeah, there's your checklist. Get your checklist. That was disgusting.
I haven't washed my... I've been playing with cards that other people have been... This is why my skin is like this. Thanks and congratulations to the players. Thanks to the community. Support us on Patreon. Courtesy Diner. Thanks to the Crack Fox. Oh, right. The tagline. Yeah. That's it. That's all it was. It's just okay, like, cool. Until next time, folks, remember, see for yourself.
Monday Night Mercenarium.
That's good that you remembered everything except for the last thing.
Yeah. Oh boy. Oh jeez.